never get free. Lamb to the slaughter, what you gon' do when there's blood in the water? The price of your greed is your son and your daughter. What you gon' do when there's blood in the water? Look me in my eyes, tell me everything's not fine, or that people ain't happy.
Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now this is What If Deku has Demon Shadow Part 0. Now I had to redo this one because I lost a lot of material for the next part. Lost like a lot of parts. So I'm going to have to redo this one, and I'm going to, go back and fix up the story a little bit. So this is Part 0. Okay, let's get some information down. Starters, this will be Inko. She doesn't have any kids. She's, ex-military. In the ship, I'm picking, a custom character. Because I was trying to see how this would work. So, I will put a pull up for her Quirk. I'll put a random Quirk to see what will be best suited for her. And this what will Izuku look like in his early years. And when he gets older, he'll look like this. All psychotic and everything. So, that's going to be interesting. Now, I haven't figured out, if this is going to be a hero or a villain. It depends on how the story goes. So it could either turn into a hero or a villain or a vigilante. Let's see how the flow goes for the story. As Izuku's Quirk is very interesting. Give me a second here. Now Izuku's Quirk, he's able to create shadow snakes. The longer the shadow snakes are out, they're harder for them. He's able to control them. So they have their own mind, their will. They have their own will of their own. They're sentient. First, they'll start off as shadow snakes. Then as he has them out for a longer period of time, they'll start growing bones, skin. And if Izuku loses all control, all senses, he turns into this bad boy. So yeah, things won't go very well if he's facing someone. Oh, for them, at least. Now, Izuku can create portals, shadow weapons. He has full control over shadow. Light doesn't do anything for him. It doesn't hurt him. Let's just say, yeah, because lights don't affect him whatsoever. So then he doesn't have that weakness that Tokiyami has when his dark shadow goes out of control, when it's more powerful at nighttime. The longer how Izuku's Quirk works, the longer it's activated, the more stronger it'll get. So he can't keep he could keep at least one snake out all the time, but if he takes out more than one, he starts to lose grip of control. And he keeps his sentient Quirk under wraps because it's quite violent. So there's that. Yeah, it's not very friendly. As we start off our story, in some sort of facility, some sort of off-par, let's just say, this is not going to be a very happy part, but give me a second here. Some sort of facility. As you have women and men in lab coats, as you have several cells, as each cell has a child in there, as they're all in they're all in hospital gowns, full on hospital gowns. They're all the same color. They're all gray. As each child has a barcode behind their neck. As you have two staff members of this facility, as you're like, huh, you must be new. Come with me, I'll show you what to do around here. As he's like, what's with all the kids in the cages? Are they some sort of villains? As the man's like, huh, they might look like kids, but they're not. They're artificial created. They're artificial weapons created. Don't be fooled by their innocent look. But you need to listen closely. As they get in the elevator, as they drop food off to each of the cages of the cells. Where are we going? The last stop of our dinner run. Now you need to be careful of this one. One false move, and he'll rip your head off. I've seen it happen. That's who you're replacing, by the way. As he gulped because he's replacing someone who got too cocky for his own good, and he could bit his head off. So he's able to control the size of the snakes. So yeah, he's straight up gone. As you have this young man with some sort of metal mask on, as he's chained up in the middle of the floor. As, hey, killer. He's like, hey, snake boy, here's your dinner. As he sets it down, as they leave the room, as they release the chains, as the chains have more slack. As the mask, it has over his face, but not his mouth. So as he's eating, now Izuku is about 5 or 6. He has pure black hair, has yellow eyes. That's what he looks. He won't have the green hair or the green eyes. Oh. Now they separate Deku or Izuku from the other children because Deku, oh yeah, Izuku would kill him. He's already killed several of the children. They made a mistake of leaving him alone with one of them. So yeah, he was created to do a purpose, and he's very good at what he does. No, I'm not going to go into the major details yet because I got a plan for this. So let's continue. As several soldiers come waltzing in, grabbing the chains as they pull Izuku out of the room. As one of the professors, one of the lab coats, good. This way. We're going to be doing, another test run. See how well he does in certain situations. As now they implanted a tracker in his neck somewhere. So you know where he is at all times. So all right. Now each kid has a number. Izuku is test subject number 0. And it goes from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up. Alright, subject 0. We have a simple task for you. As Izuku looks at the doctor, not saying a word, gazing in his cold eyes. As the doctor's, the professor dude, the lab coat's kind of uncomfortable. Because a lot of people don't like being around Izuku. As The commander, I'll take it from here. You're shaking your boots over a child. As he's like, you don't realize what type of monster he is, do you? That's just, he's like, I don't care what he is. I don't care what he is. As long as he gets the, as long as as long as the operations is a success. I could care less. All right, let's get down to business. Now, kid, we will be dropping you down. We will be taking you to a certain location. As he turns something on, it's like a digital map on the wall. We will be dropping you in that location in the city. Your mission is to take out these targets. As there's pictures of this random people. It's not, yeah, they're not good people. So simple. You are there to infiltrate, assassinate, and kill all witnesses. As Izuku, tilts his head as he's about to do something, as the 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 commanding officer there right now, he's like, I have your little device here. As he begins shocking Izuku. Now you listen to me. Now if you follow orders and do what you were made to do, then we won't have an issue. Weapon. As he kicks Izuku over. Do I make myself clear? As Izuku nods. Good. Now he doesn't, it's not that he can't talk, he doesn't know how to, because he's never been taught. All he knows is about training exercises. He's been doing this for a while now. The other children don't go out as much during the missions, but Izuku is the top-notch subject. Experiment they have. Test subject they have. As they put a bag over his head, as they direct him onto a helicopter, as they fly off, as they're like, all right, kid, we're here. As they're up in the air, as they take the hood off, kick him out of the helicopter, as he's falling down, as Izuku's falling down, as he opens a portal, goes into it, as he portals on the ground, looking up the helicopter, as he's giving the person that kicked him off a very uncomfortable look, like he's pissed off, as his earpiece goes off. All right, subject. All right, weapon, do your job. Or you want another shock. As he goes off. Good. Your first target will be up he's up about 2 miles up that way. Get walking. Now, Izuku is wearing, it's basically a very advanced shock collar, basically what it is. It's not bulky, it's pretty advanced, and it's not too big. It's kind of like a choker a little bit. As a man's yelling on the phone, as Izuku sees his first target, as he gets in a running stance, as Izuku runs pretty quiet towards the man, he's yelling. As Izuku does a sliding motion, cuts his right tendon off his foot. Sorry, the tendon on the right foot, as he drops to the ground. As the man looks up to see a young boy with yellow piercing eyes, as he's like, "Who the hell are you, kid?" As Izuku pulls out a gun with a silencer, as he shoots the man in the head, as blood splatter over his face. as they're keeping, they're they're observing his methods, as he's like, "Good job, weapon. Continue on to the next target." As Izuku runs off, as he portals through a couple portals. Now, small pause. Now there is a the hero organization. They don't run wild because they're a hero. They have to follow rules like everyone else. So the people that watch the heroes to make sure they don't follow the villain role or abuse their power is a task force to monitor to give me a second here. I totally forgot the word was observe heroes, and if they overstep their boundaries, to put them down, not kill them. There's only been a few cases where they had to kill a hero because he wasn't doing what he's supposed to be doing. He was abusing his power way too much in a bad way. So there's been a couple cases of that, but they usually they'll either capture them, strip them of their hero license, and throw them in jail, or in their little quarantine cells. And head of the unit is Inko Midoriya, ex-military, and she saw as she was growing up how corrupt heroes can be if left unchecked. So she got it accepted. Got accepted to make this group to keep the heroes in check. Because I don't really understand why they didn't have something like that in the beginning. Like the government keeps them in check because the heroes are doing whatever they want and no one's checking them. So that's how we're gonna do it. And UA is in college, so like in normal. So let's continue. This unit is most likely to be called the Hero Suppress Task Force. In short, it is called the HTF task. The HTF for short. But we'll just go. No, because I forgot the S. Give me a second here. It is called the SHTF for short, but we'll go as task force, stuff like that. So now Inko has never been married. She's single. She concentrated her whole life in the military because of her quirk wasn't suited for hero work. That's what they told her. So she straight up joined the military. And now now she takes down heroes when they don't follow the rules. So, karma has a way for biting people in the ass. So let's continue. Now, the next target isn't Inko, but it's one of the heroes that she's taking under custody. As the man's being tackled on the ground, as Inko has her foot on his back of his neck, as she has her give me a second here. As she has a shotgun back of his head, as she's like, "Give me an excuse. You're hereby under arrest. Your hero license will be stripped for abusing your power to take advantage of young women," as he's been doing that whole thing. So saying he's a hero, all that creepy stuff that the dude was doing. She's putting a stop to that. There's been too many there was too many eye reports of this happening, so that's why he's got under her radar. So as she's about to lift him up, as he's about to be handcuffed, he's handcuffed, as a shadow hand comes out of nowhere, grabs the dude's neck as it pulls him down. As another one rips out his throat. As Inko cocks up her weapon as she turns around. As she notices someone's quirk being used. Alright, I don't know who you are, but come out quietly, or I'll boot you down. As she heard footsteps, as Izuku's running, he didn't have to kill her because she didn't see his face, so. As the over the intercom over Izuku, good. Mission complete. It's a good thing you didn't have to kill her. She does some good work. As he's about to be picked up, as Inko's chasing him, he's going through down the crowd. As she's confused, she knows the person's young, but she doesn't know how young. She put two to two together. A person's running away from the alleyway. It's the person that killed her perp. As she saw a glimpse of Izuku, as she pulls her gun up in air, as she stopped that kid, as Izuku's being followed by several officers now, because, they're in this vicinity, as they know, the police department knows about Inko. She's had a couple run-ins with the officers not doing their job, just looking the other way because they're heroes, and she doesn't take that sort of crap, so. As you have Izuku running down the alleyway, as the dead end, as he opens a portal, as he goes through it, as she sees that, as she's looking around, she's like, he couldn't have portaled far. I highly doubt the kid that young has a good grasp on his quirk. As she's searching around, as she start commanding the officers to search around, as you have Ezekiel on top of the building looking down on Inko, with his yellow eyes glowing, as he has his hand up, as he's about to assassinate her, as the soldiers on the intercom, mission complete. No reason to kill that one. She is not your mission. As he puts his hand down, as he gets picked up after he portals away, as they're going to handcuff him, or they're going to shackle him again when he's about to go in the helicopter, as Izuku moves so fast with his knife, cuts the soldier and slits the soldier's throat out in front of everyone, the one that kicked him, as they all subdue Midoriya, as Midoriya is smiling, as he's looking at the commander with these cold, dead eyes, as he's basically telling him by looks alone that he could kill him anytime he wants. Even if you press that button, I'll kill you long before your brain will register that movement. As that goes on, as they return back to where they keep the rest of the children, as they take him back to his cell, chain him up, as the commander not very happy with his performance at the end. He completed his mission just fine, but killing one of the soldiers, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that at all. And he's like, you need to find a better way to control that thing. He killed one of my soldiers. That's the head professor, or the head professor, lab coat. He's like, and why? Subject Zero wouldn't kill your soldier unless you gave him reason to. As they go through, as the dude smiles, that's why, you idiot. You meatheads, all you military types are always the same. Do this, make that. You threatened the boy. He wasn't, you threatened his Subject Zero. He wasn't going to let that slide. Of course he chopped his, of course he killed him. By what you've been telling me, you had him kicked out of the helicopter in mid-flight. as they show surveillance of it as, but you have no room to talk, Commander. He did your mission, and according to all the feedback I've been hearing, he did his mission quite well. Excellent. Maybe it's time to move on to phase 2. As the commander's like, what's phase 2? That's none of your concern. You only wanted to use the weapon. You have no authority of what goes on here. So I suggest you learn your place. After all, technically this place doesn't exist. Even I don't exist. As it's a off branch of a military project that's not being let's just say it's definitely not by the books. It's if they're get caught, if someone catches them, they're all going to prison for a very long time for oh no, experimentation on children, created children that they created in the lab. That whole thing is a whole nother ballpark. As they finally leave the base, upset, but they still got their mission got completed. As the doctor goes over to the cell, there's several guards, several of the guarding Izuku's cell door. He has a lot bigger cell than the rest of the kids because he's the favorite. That's not a good thing, but yeah, he's the special project. As the man, you did good, Subject Zero. As he drops, a little cupcake. And he's like, happy birthday. My perfect weapon. As Izuku, goes over to her and eats it. Don't worry. Tomorrow, we're going to have a lot more. Tomorrow, because of your performance tonight, I'm quite impressed. But with your performance tonight, I think it's about time we stepped up to phase 2, my boy. As Izuku doesn't know what he's talking about. Rest up. You'll need it. As he exit the cell. Now the cell doors are very thick metal doors. It's like let's just say it has to be good enough to hold Izuku in there, because even though he's such a young age, if he loses control, that's the only thing that keeps him in a cell. If he lost control, and he could easily escape if it wasn't designed for him specifically. Other children, the other subjects have less secure cells, but they're allowed to hang out with each other. Izuku's not allowed to be around anyone. He's always stuck in his cell, 24/7. They bring the food to him. He eats it. He has his own little shower in there. He doesn't have any human interactions, unless on his little test runs where he kills people. So where he takes out key members of people they don't want around anymore, or are becoming too much of a problem. Now, some key figures know about this facility, what they're doing, but not a lot of them. Inko definitely doesn't know. She's gonna be mad if she finds out, but that's neither here nor there. Now, Izuku has been trained in not like his training, how he knows all his stuff is not because he's been through it body experience, but he got thrown into kind of like a training simulator type of thing. So I'm making those a thing in this what if because it fits really well for the story. So you have Inko back at her headquarters as she gets her team together. As she discussed what's going on, as they're trying to get information on the boy. As she sees the video of him killing his first target, the dude that he sniped or he executed in the head. As she sees those movements, as she's like, he's been trained. This is madness, training a young boy like that. As all the all the adults are uncomfortable about this because the kid just executed someone high up on the military, on the whole military board. He was pretty high up. He was trying to shut down the facility that trying to shut down the program that Ezekiel was made out of. Basically, the program, he was trying to shut down the program that was the cause of, actually, the program is Ezekiel, so, he was trying to shut down that whole, he knows about the whole organization split off from the government that's been experimenting on living weapons. He's been trying to nip that in the butt because he doesn't want, super soldiers running around. So there's that. As one of her squad members, Inko used to take a look at this. Yeah, apparently the young man's been busy tonight. As he sees footage of they were able to dig up from, hacking into a lot of things. So as she sees him executing a lot of people, he wasn't just there to execute two people. He was there to execute a lot of them. So I didn't want to go through each person he executed because that would be like a long video. So let's say in the time he was there, he executed like 6 people. So he already has a 6 body count, and judging by the way he did it, he's not new to killing. This kind of bothers Inko a little bit. She doesn't know why, because she can't stand kids. So I don't know why. She's confused why it bugs her so much. But there is a little. I have a plan. So now Izuku doesn't have a name. They just call him Subject Zero because they don't see him as a human. They see him as the perfect killing machine that has a very interesting quirk. They got hold of some fanatic doctor's notes, and they did their own little experiments. So they found a way to make artificial quirks. But Izuku's different. All the kids there, they're all artificial quirks, except for Izuku. Izuku, he actually was born with, a quirk, actual quirk that wasn't artificial. Now, the rest of the children are basically clones of some people, but Izuku's different. He's a he wasn't cloned. He was created using someone else's DNA. And she's like, "All right, team, we need to have a team together to on civilians watching him. As soon as he pops up again, I want to know about it." As they're like, "Yes, ma'am." As they run off and does their thing around the office, as she goes to her office, as she sits down in her chair. Considering Asashi's not a thing in this what if, can't really use the last name Midoriya for Izuku, so I'm gonna go as the normal I go to when I can't use Midoriya is the rose fields. As Inko's phone starts ringing, as she sees it, as it says sister. As Inko answers her phone, as she's like, "Hey sis," as she's like, Inko, are you alright? The heroes are up on high alert. As Inko's like, what do you mean? You gotta know, you've gotta know something. Several heroes were assassinated tonight. Simultaneously. Some, yeah, there's a lot of heroes that he killed. Not all of them, but, you know, some of them, like, some of them are heroes. And she's like, I can't give you that information, sis. And she's like, can you at least tell me if it's a villain or not? I'm not totally sure, sister. What I saw tonight was very unsettling. I can't tell you. I could tell you something, but I can't tell you over the line. It's not secured. I'll meet you back at home later. As Inko hangs up. Okay. I was gonna continue on, but it's getting pretty late. So I think it's a good time to stop it here. This is, decent length for a part 0. So, tomorrow will be zombie apocalypse. You guys keep asking for it, but I keep telling you guys, check the community tab frequently. I put all my information up on there. So let me remind you guys, check the community tab, because that's where most of the information you'll get to know where your what ifs are going to come out, which one's going to come out certain days. So keep a lookout for that. After I do zombie apocalypse tomorrow, then on Wednesday, I think I'll release another episode of What If Deku was from a sealed off universe. So that will come Wednesday. Okay, I hope you guys have a good night and day, judging by time zones. Alright, bye.